welcome back. Today I am trying something questionable, I guess, in the sense of my setup and my lighting. So if this looks absolutely awful, I apologize. I am really wanting to record, but not really sure what I'm even doing right now. I feel like the fact that I've been over a month without creating any content at all feels like I've forgotten how to do it. So I figure, instead of trying to be extremely perfectionist and trying to just, over plan things that end up making me get stuck, let me just do something about it, record something and see how it turns out. So this video may or may not see the light of day. Anyway, today what I was thinking of sharing was all of the journals that I'm using, because I actually tried recording this before and I didn't have a lot of success with how I did it. Ended up turning absolutely awful. So we're trying this again, and it's gonna be a more casual video. Last time I tried to do it very I don't know, it was a lot. I tried too hard and it ended up looking really, really bad. So we're just gonna have a conversation about it. I'm gonna show you how I use my notebooks, because I know a lot of you have a lot of notebooks that you don't use. And I get it, the anxiety of getting a pretty notebook and you don't want to ruin it. But keep in mind, there's always more at the store. Maybe not always a lot money, to buy more. But that shouldn't keep you from using your notebooks, because you already spent the money, so you might as well use it, right? And of course, I'm not telling you to go buy a bunch of notebooks. Typically, I buy mine when they're on sale. And sometimes, I get them gifted to me. So, things of that sort. Most of my notebooks have been definitely very, very discounted. Like very discounted. You're gonna notice why I say that when I start showing. Obviously, I do have a couple that are really pretty in actual journals, and then I have others that are just normal notebooks. So anyway, let me stop talking about the general stuff and let's get into the notebooks, because they're everywhere. So I'm just gonna start grabbing notebooks and showing you what they are and give you ideas on what you can use yours for. Okay, so my main journal right now, you probably have already seen it because I showcased it in one of my birthday gift hauls, because this one was given to me by one of my friends. So this is this version of I think it's Louise Carmen ? Something. But yeah, my friend actually made this. This is fully handmade and it is absolutely beautiful. She customized it to my liking with the charms that are very academic like I am, and this is supposed to be a Gilmore Girls inspired one, so it's very on brand for me. And then you have your fall winter charms on the side. Anyway, so what am I using this journal right now for? I don't remember if I ever showed my bullet journal setup, but that's what's been going on. I have these brown inserts and then this journal, and she put all of this in here. So these are the original stuff that came with the journal. Now the first one, if I take them out of the journal, it'll be easier to show you. But yeah, the first one, nothing on the outside. But this is meant to be where I gather my quotes from the books that I read. So the first quote that I ever wrote on here is from the book La Tercera Rebelión by Jay del Trono. I don't know if that's how he pronounces his name, but I've been saying Jay del Trono in my head. Maybe Jota del Trono, because it's in Spanish. He's a Puerto Rican author and he's awesome. And he's going to be releasing the second book of the Tercera Rebelión series, which is called Muerte al Jibari, and I'm very excited about it. I haven't done my pre-order. I should be ashamed, but I'm going to do it soon, hopefully. Anyway, the quote is actually a little bit long, but it's by one of the characters that I absolutely love. And she's talking about trauma and stuff. I don't know if I should read it, but I'm gonna skip that for now because this video is gonna be long enough. But anyway, I am gathering quotes. Now I haven't written a lot, as you can see. I've been reading a lot but not writing a lot, and I feel like the reason why I haven't done so is because I want to put here things that really, really speak to me, really deep stuff. and I don't want to just write whatever stands out. What I end up doing is I annotate my books anyway, obviously as long as they're mine and not from the library, because I do read a lot from the library. But if it's my own book, I annotate, and only if they really, really stick out, then I write them on here. And you can see that I decorated the first page with stickers that I got from a really big sticker book that I got for my birthday. Then the second little notebook that is inside of this thing is my actual bullet journal. So again, there's nothing on the outside. And I actually started this one in March because I was using the skinnier one, the smaller traveler journal, which is this one over here. This was originally my bullet journal. And you can see it's upside down. There's other stuff, but I'll go through it in a bit. But yeah, I started this one in March. And I've been just, decorating it. I like to include kind of like a mood board and a letter to myself. At least the first time I did this, I did it, kind of like actually putting in effort. And then this is my mood tracker things. I have, let me see, where did I put it? I was just using it. Oh, I have this So Many Feelings sticker book that I got from Amazon. And I know, yes, the sun. We are not happy with the sun, but this was, a while ago. Anyway, I put all of the pretty stickers on there and basically track how I've been feeling. And then I do a daily overview thing. So I write a couple bullet points on what I did each day. And this one was very messy because by the time that I reached this point, I was already like tired. I was exhausted. So I didn't do a lot, with that. But anyway, then at the very end, I put my trackers, and I'm folding it because I don't want to show you the April just yet. But these are my trackers, and basically I have my reading, so whether I read or not that day, and then the books that I wanted to read that month, and then what I ended up reading. And then on the bottom, my library visits, which I may or may not have turned this into an actual product. That's going to be on my website soon, but just giving you a little spoiler. But anyway, I write the day that I went to a library, I write which library I went to, and this is particularly important, or I guess very useful for people who live in places that have really large library systems. In my case, my library system is just 2 libraries. I think that there's more in the county, but my specific library system is just 2. But I know of places that have like 15 branches or something like that, which is honestly lucky you, because you get to use your library card at all of them. Like, that's insane. I have 2, and I'm very grateful for that because that is amazing, and it's honestly more than I had growing up. So I love it. I absolutely love my libraries, and I think you probably already know that because I talk about my libraries a lot on here. But anyway, so I put the books that I borrowed, if I borrowed anything that day, and then the books that I returned, if I returned any that day. Then April, and yes, I hand drew this. It's okay, it's like elementary kid level drawing. That's my skill right now. I did another mood board, and then I started filling in my mood tracker, and then something happened in April. Like, April kind of like halfway through April, it just like vanished for me. So I stopped doing everything. Like, oh no, my little sticker came out. And then here are my trackers for April. And again, like, the last 2 weeks of April, I didn't track anything. I don't know why. Like, and then it's like May never existed. I didn't do anything for me. Like, I have my April daily stuff here. I ended up, I think, let me see. I ended up adding just a general April note because I didn't know what happened each day by the time that I was doing this. Then May passed by. I didn't do a spread or anything for May. And then I ended up in June, which I just did a couple weeks ago. And my little palm tree sticker came out, so I'm going to stick it back. So with June, I am back to using my bullet journal. I'm back to keeping track of things. So I put more effort into my mood tracker this time, and I have like all these pretty colors and stuff, so I'm very excited about it. I absolutely love it. And this palm tree doesn't want to stick. I'm gonna have to use glue, but I love it. And I actually did it on the computer, so it looked symmetrical. Although I don't know if I actually like how it turned out. So I might try to go back and do it by hand, but it was so difficult to do it by hand. So yeah. And then I have here my trackers, and I'm keeping it simple this month. I'm putting my reading as a calendar, my art as a calendar, and then my content creation as a calendar. And then I have my reading hopefuls again. I have what I've actually been reading, and then the library visits that I have not been to a library one time this month. And I should be ashamed of that. I was gonna go today, and then, yes, the day that I decided I'm gonna leave the house, and I was actually supposed to be recording a library vlog, not this vlog, but it's fine. The day that I decided that I'm going to leave the house willingly, the weather says it's gonna rain the entire day. Now, I have not seen a single drop of rain, but I have a feeling that the minute I set foot outside, it's gonna happen. And you know, the vibe for the library is to actually walk there. You know, we have a little tote bag, we have a little water bottle, whatever, and we walk there, and it's all a whole vibe. And it's been sunny the entire week, and I wasn't feeling it. Like, I was in such a rut this week that I couldn't get anything done. And then the one day that I actually feel inspired to actually do something, the weather decided to work against me. So I may or may not go later. I don't know. But I still have the weekend, so maybe I'll be able to go tomorrow or Sunday or whatever, because it's Friday as of when I am recording this. But anyway, so yeah, I haven't been to the library at all. Then we have the daily overviews that, again, I try to do like funky stuff because I have so many letter stickers. And I've been, you know, writing stuff. And I realized that putting the daily overviews at the end is better because I don't know how much space it's going to take. So that way I can continue adding pages. Whereas if I pre-plan it, I might end up either with writing less than the space that I left or more and needing to do a separate section. So I'm putting the tracker and then the overview. And I think I'm gonna keep doing that for the next couple of months. Hopefully, I will actually keep up with my trackers and my calendar and my whole thing, like the whole bullet journal setup, until the end of the year. That's the goal. But I already missed 1 month, but it's fine. We're not gonna let that, you know, unmotivate us from keeping doing it, you know? So anyway, moving on. Okay, so the third partition is supposed to be me in my attempt to learn Italian. Right now, I'm just doing my Duolingo. But I am attempting to learn Italian. And I figured that that was the perfect language for me to learn because I, one, love, just, there's something about Italy that calls me. I don't know what it is. And also, Italian is very similar to Spanish, which is my first language. And then it also has a little bit of overlap with English as far as I've been able to see on Duolingo. So it just made sense. It's the language that my brain kind of really enjoys, and I love listening to it as well. So yeah, I'm learning Italian. We'll see. I won't make any content or anything in Italian because I don't think it's awful. If you know Italian, give me, like, I don't know, advice on what to do. I've been watching a show that I don't remember what it's called, but it's on Netflix. And I've been trying to look up music, but I haven't actually been doing a good job at actually consuming that kind of media, so I probably should. Because when I learned English, that's how I did it, like through TV and music, and reading. But I'm not gonna attempt to read a book in Italian until, you know, I'm more fluent. But anyway, that's what's going on for the brown notebooks. Now, the blue one, I don't remember if I ever mentioned it, but the blue one is meant to be a travel journal. Now, I've been really struggling with this one because I wanted to make something very well designed. Like, I wanted to put all the effort in the world into it, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So what I ended up, like, as of right now doing with it is I started adding like partition pages that I drew stuff on. I have an index that obviously I'm going to fill out at the very end, and then I just have spaces for maps of the continents so that I can color in wherever it is that I go. And then another different like partition page, and then this is supposed to be kind of like a what do you call it, a bucket list. That's what it's called, I was gonna say a bullet list. No, a bucket list of places and things that I want to see and visit, and locations and libraries and bookstores and stuff around the world that I would love to see. And then something happened to this page that is going through it. And then we have let the travel begin. This is all like placeholder stuff, like you can barely see it because it's all in pencil. And then here I'm supposed to start posting or like creating spreads for each place that I visit. So it's probably going to be a lot of US locations at first, because that's what's easier for me right now, you know, budget wise and accessibility wise. But hopefully it'll expand so that I can be a citizen of the world and just, you know, be everywhere. But yeah, pretty much I haven't done much with it, just those few pages that I've like either glued maps to or the ones that I've drawn the partitions for. But yeah, I haven't really been doing much. I feel like I want to wait until I actually start going to different towns to create kind of like cute memory spreads and add pictures and make it sort of like another bullet journal but for travel. So yeah, that is what's going on this one. I have a pen, and then I have some specific stickers for the travel journal that I bought. So they're in there all squished together. Oh no, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have moved that like that. But anyway, I have some Rilakuma stickers here. They're very cute. I think I got them from Daiso or something. So yeah, they're on a different video if you want to see one of my stationery haul videos. But anyway, that was just one journal, and I spoke for 15 minutes. So now that I think of it, maybe I shouldn't do all the journals in one video, because we're gonna be here like 5 hours. So or maybe I should just talk less. Anyway, moving on. My other main notebook journal thing is this one, which is thoughts, and this is from Target. My friend, the same one that made the other one, started collecting these, and I got them from for her because she was gonna use them for school, and she ended up getting too many, so I ended up keeping some for myself because she didn't need them. So I got this, and now we're matching with journals. I think hers is more like academic stuff, but for me, this is my morning pages. So I'm obviously not gonna show you, but you can see everything, the amount of stuff that's written in here. Like, this is where I put all my thoughts and my feelings and what's going on, and it's more like a diary kind of thing. So if you don't do morning pages or night pages or any time of the day pages, I recommend you do it, because this is therapy. Honestly, it's a good complementary thing for, obviously you should always go to therapy if you need to, but this is a great way for you to go through what you go through, you know, like actually process things. I've been doing this for a while, and I think it's been helping me not just in my emotions and emptying my brain whenever I can't get things, you know, like either can't get them out or I just can't get myself to function, right? So pages, very important thing to do. Empty your brain, just free write whatever comes to mind. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's meant to just give you this, you know, flow, and sometimes it translates into doing other stuff, you know, productivity and all that stuff. So think about it and maybe give it a try if you haven't. Now the next set of notebooks, I'm gonna show them to you as a pack because they're all interconnected in some way. Now, when I was talking about the variety of ways that I acquire my notebooks, I think this stack is the best representation of that. Let me show you. I'm just gonna show you the stack first. This is the stack. There are different sizes, but there's a reason why they are in the order that they are. It doesn't make sense, but I'll explain. So let me start with these two, the two in the middle. So these two were part of a pack of 5 notebooks, I think. I had a blue, green, and a yellow. Blue, green, yellow, red, and gray. Yeah. So these I bought a really long time ago, and they were on sale somewhere. I don't remember. Like, this was back in Puerto Rico. Like, was it back in Puerto Rico? Was it here? I don't know. Let's just say this was pre-2020. Like, these are older notebooks for me. they started with a purpose, and I ended up ripping out the pages that I used for whatever I was using them for. I think the green one was like a personal finance education notebook or something. But now they are my writer. They're kind of writer notebooks. The green one is where I'm plotting one of my books that I have talked about in one of my, I think, writer journey videos that I have posted on the channel. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. One, because the story is not even written yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But also because I do want to make a separate video talking about it. So yeah, just know that this one is for that, and then this one is where I have writing exercises, and I've been doing it in Spanish so that I can, you know, make sure that I don't lose my vocabulary in Spanish, because since I moved, that's been happening a lot, and it's bad. Like, you would think Spanish is not my first language, because I've been struggling a lot with it. So I've been writing in Spanish in this one, and then in English in this one. This is more brainstorming. This is just like writing exercises. Sometimes it doubles as a feelings kind of inspiration notebook, but I try to keep it more like writing exercises, you know. Then I have, oh, and yeah, I mentioned these were that I bought them, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so these two, you probably recognize them because I got them as one of my gifts for my birthday. So this is also featured in another video, so you probably have seen it if you've seen my videos before. But basically, these are, once again, writing story notebooks, right? All of these are gonna be the same theme. They're all for my writer journey kind of thing. Now, the story that is in this one, that is actually almost like, this notebook is almost full. I really went hard in plotting and scenes and stuff, and this was back in 2023 that I was really going hard writing the story that's on these. But this one I just started because I finally was able to decide what story I wanted to write for real for these. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using the smaller one as a general concepts notebook, and then the big one, this is where I'm going to be expanding. So I've barely written anything because I just started using them. But yeah, general concepts, ideas, expanding on the general concepts and ideas. So this is more detail. This is more like brainstorming or little thoughts that come here and there. So yeah, they're a set. As you can see, I love these. They're so pretty. And the story that is going to be written, that I'm going to be working on these notebooks, is very, very close to my heart. I think it's the one that is the most nerve-wracking, the one that I'm the most nervous about, because I really want to make it justice. It's based on a lot of stuff in my life. Obviously, it's a novel, so it's gonna have things that are fiction, but there's a lot of inspiration coming from my personal life and people that are important in my life and all that stuff. So this is probably gonna be the one that I'm going to spend the most time. Like, it's not gonna be a debut novel for me. This is a story that I need to write when I'm more experienced, but I don't want to let that thought keep me from actually writing it. So I'm probably gonna write it and then rewrite it, kind of thing. That's kind of the plan for that one. So yeah, I'll speak more on that when I do the next writing episode, because I haven't done one in a while. Then the last one, regular spiral notebook that you use for school. And these were actually on sale because the Office Depot by my house was closing, and this was like 2020 2021. They were closing, so they had everything like very, very discounted. So I got a bunch of these, and I got a bunch of the other regular composition notebooks. I have so many notebooks still that I haven't used, so I'm trying to, give them use, but I want to actually complete them. I don't want to just start randomly using notebooks and leaving them half empty, So this one is also a writer's notebook. Now, there's a difference with this one than with those. This one I am also doing in Spanish. Again, same reason as the other one. It's more of, me trying to not lose my vocabulary, because I used to be really good at writing in Spanish, and I feel like with time I got so used to auto writing in English that I've been losing that skill. But anyway, this one was actually inspired by a book that I just read, and it's called I don't even know what it's called. Where is the book? Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, so I found this book that is called A Writer's Notebook, Unlocking the Writer Within You by Rolf Fletcher. This is a book that I thrifted from the library sale last time that I went, I think it was like a month ago. And as you can see, it's a very old book. Like, this book is a year younger than me or something. So it's, and this is like a first edition of that book that I just randomly found it because the writer's thing, it just like, I want to be a writer, so it felt like it was on brand for me, so I got it. And not only did I surprisingly read the entire thing, and you know, it's a pretty thin book, but you know me, I get distracted and I lose interest in things. I read this book in 24 hours. That was bonkers for me, but that's how good it was. And it's one of those books that I feel like I'm gonna keep returning to. Like, I annotated it and everything. There's notes on the margins. I'm not gonna show all of the stuff because I write a lot of wacky stuff on my books, but you know, there's like, it was so good. Again, I'm not gonna dive into the book right now because I probably will do a separate video for it. But just know that this is about keeping a notebook as a writer. So that's what this is. This is my writer notebook. This is where I'm going to dump everything that calls my attention, or anything that comes to my mind, any random thoughts, anything that could be used as a scene later on, anything that could be like a literary device, I don't know, like anything that I could use potentially for some sort of writing at some point is gonna be in here. So differently to this one, this is actual exercises. So, you know, I actually look up prompts and stuff to practice writing, whereas here is a collection of ideas. So it's kind of like a catch-all notebook, but instead of it being like a catch-all in the sense of anything, it's mostly things that I could potentially get inspiration from, or even turn into a piece of writing. So they could be turned into a character trait, or they could be used as a scene, they could be used to move a plot forward and whatnot. So that's what this is. Again, I plan on doing a video later on, but I do want to get through it first and see how it goes, because if I'm gonna talk about it, I want to talk about it having done it first, right? So I'm probably gonna do like either separate videos or just one big video for all of these. It might be my next writer journey video, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, that's what's been going on. So this stack pretty much goes with that book. Now, do I have more journals that I'm using? Yes, but these are the main ones that I'm focusing on right now. I do have, I don't know if you can see from here, but if I lift this, those are all the other ones, right? This is a junk journal, but not really a junk journal. It's more like a creative spreads journal. This is my junk journal that I've showed you guys in countless videos. This one is more like a poetry / songwriting one whenever I get that muse. And then the ones underneath are those like pre-made ones, so not very important right now. This red one I do have to come back to. This is actually the reading journal that I was keeping, that there is actually a series going on here that I haven't actually recorded for in a long while. So we're returning to that soon. And then the rest are literally just random notebooks that I'm doing for just like whenever I have an idea and I want to work on a project, these are the result of that. So there's like a mentoring one here. There's actually a school one here. Somewhere in here, there's a notebook that I was using in grad school. And then the other ones are like, I have like a fantasy one going on because I'm doing kind of like a D&D style thing, but it's through pen pal with one of my friends. So basically we each have a character and we write each other letters as if we were the real characters. Instead of having like a D&D campaign, we have like a D&D correspondence kind of thing. if you will. So yeah, that's what those are. But for the most part, that's everything that I'm using right now. I think there might be others somewhere, because I do have the black version of that brown journal that my friend gave me, and then I have some other ones here that I'm not gonna show because they're like they're not super important ones. Oh, and this is my actual catch-all journal that you've probably seen before, and this is quite literally a catch-all. Like, I put random facts and exercises and stuff in here, so this one is a disaster. But yeah, those are the journals that I am super hyper fixated on right now, and the ones that I'm using. I hope that gave you an idea of what the heck to do with your notebooks. Like, there's so much that you can do with a notebook. Writing is such a versatile hobby, and it can help you with yourself, personal and professional development, and can help you with your creativity and being an artist, or being, whatever kind of art you want to do, because I feel like writing is a form of art. And if you're more of a techie or science person, you can also have like a research notebook. I don't know, you can do so many things. And then if you don't like the idea of, doing it physical, as a notebook, you can always use like a tablet or something. But I do fully support and recommend the physical notebooks, because there's just something about them when you sit down and you write. I don't know, just the motion of writing in a physical thing feels good. And hey, if you don't have a journal, then, loose paper from somewhere. I don't know, get a binder and put like your whole bunch of writings in there, but just put pen to paper, because it just feels nice. I feel like whether it is a creative project that you're working on, whether you're just gathering things from the world, or whether you're expressing your emotions, it's meaningful, and it's something that you can look back at and be like, oh, at this point in my life, this is how I thought, this is what I was working on, this is how I felt about things. And it's nice to have that record for yourself. And if you want to go further, think about maybe if you are someone that wants to have children, or if you have siblings that have children, or just friends that have children, or whatever. That's something also that the next generations can find. So I don't know, I have one of my friends that we're always talking about that kind of stuff, kind of this delusion that we're gonna leave our notebooks to someone and they're gonna study them or whatever. But yeah, just like keep that, because it's a record for yourself. It's something that you can definitely, I don't know, cherish. It's something that'll give you a way to record a part of yourself, because as humans, we're always evolving, we're always changing. So being able to look back at how far you've come, which is something really, really hard, and something that we often forget, that we are constantly moving forward and doing things and making progress. And if you feel like you're not, maybe take a look at your notebooks and check where you were and see, have you really been stagnant, or have you actually been moving forward and you just don't notice it because you're you and you see yourself every day. So it's more difficult for you to see the differences. So yeah, give it a try. Let me know in the comments if it's something that you've been doing, if it's something that you're enjoying, and if you're inspired. I don't know. Are you planning on doing it? Maybe not. I don't know. Let me know. So with that said,